The camera zooms in on Elon Musk and Keanu Reeves sitting side by side under the bright lights of a global live TV interview. The world is watching. Millions are tuned in. Twitter is already trending. The host leans forward, eyes gleaming with curiosity. Elon, if you could share 10 life secrets that made you who you are today, what would they be? The audience holds their breath. Elon smirks, the kind of smirk that signals something big is about to happen. He leans forward, resting his hands together. All right, but some of these might shock you. But just as he opens his mouth to reveal the first secret, something no one expected happens. Keanu Reeves, silent until now, suddenly lifts his hand. His voice is calm but firm. No, don't tell them. The studio falls into dead silence. The host blinks. The audience leans in. Even Elon Musk, a man who rarely reacts to surprises, raises an eyebrow. The tension in the room is thick. Keanu's eyes are sharp, unwavering. Some things should never be told. A murmur ripples through the crowd. The host shifts nervously. Elon, still calm, simply smiles. The world deserves to know. Then, without hesitation, he begins, and what he says next changes everything. Elon leans back, his voice steady. My first secret? Failure is your greatest asset. The problem is, most people are terrified of it. He pauses, scanning the audience. I've been bankrupt. I've lost billions. I've been ridiculed. Tesla almost collapsed. SpaceX exploded, and I've stared at failure more times than I can count. The crowd is silent. Every failure is a test, a filter that separates those who quit from those who build empires. Keanu, arms crossed, exhales slowly. His eyes hold a look of concern. But Elon isn't done. If you want to change your life, you must run towards failure, not away from it. Because failure is the universe's way of asking you one thing. Do you really want this? The audience is hanging on his words. Then, out of nowhere, Keanu finally speaks again. That's dangerous advice. The host looks between them, sensing a battle of philosophies brewing. The tension lingers in the air. Keanu is watching Elon carefully, as if measuring every word. Elon, unfazed, continues. It's something I call the 5-minute rule. And it's the reason I get more done in a year than most do in a lifetime. The audience leans in. Even the host is scribbling notes. Most people lose their future in 5-minute decisions. 5 minutes of fear stops them from taking risks. 5 minutes of laziness kills their dreams. 5 minutes of doubt makes them walk away from an opportunity that could have changed their life forever. The words hit hard. Every major decision in your life was shaped in a 5-minute moment. The question is, how did you use those 5 minutes? The room is so silent, you could hear a pin drop. Keanu uncrosses his arms. His fingers tap against his knee. Then he asks a question that nobody expected. Then tell me, Elon, what was your 5-minute moment? Elon exhales, and then he says something that shocks the world. The moment I decided to risk everything, my entire fortune, on SpaceX. I knew that if the 4th launch failed, I'd be bankrupt, but I also knew, if I didn't try, I'd never forgive myself. I had 5 minutes to decide. The audience gasps. Most people look at their bank account. I looked at the stars and asked myself, what do I want my last words to be? The host looks visibly emotional. Even Keanu looks different now, like something about that answer just hit him in the soul. But then something shocking happens. Keanu leans forward. His voice is lower now, almost personal. That's a good answer, Elon, but you're wrong about one thing. The audience is stunned. Elon raises an eyebrow, intrigued. Wrong? About what? Keanu doesn't blink. His voice is steady, but there's something behind his eyes, something deeper than disagreement. You said you had 5 minutes to decide, but that's not true. The audience leans in. Even the host seems confused. The truth is, that decision was made years before that moment. Those 5 minutes didn't change your life. Your entire mindset leading up to that moment did. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Keanu continues. I've seen people spend their whole lives waiting for a 5-minute moment, and when it finally comes, they're not ready. Because real transformation, it happens in the dark when no one is watching. In the days you wanted to quit. The nights when you doubted yourself. That's when the decision was truly made, not in 5 minutes. Elon nods slowly. You make a good point, but that brings me to my third secret. He looks at the audience, his expression shifting. This one is different. The hidden cost of genius is loneliness. The crowd falls silent. Everyone wants to be great, but they don't realize what greatness costs. True genius isolates you. You will lose people, you will be misunderstood, you will be mocked, doubted, and even feared. And most people aren't ready for that price. The words hit deep. Some in the audience shift uncomfortably. The weight of the truth is heavy. I've lost friends, relationships, sleep. I've been called crazy. But I had to accept that if I wanted to push humanity forward, I couldn't live like everyone else. Because when you think differently, you live differently. Elon pauses. Then he adds a final note. The question is, are you willing to pay that price? The audience is stunned. Then Keanu speaks, and this time his voice is quieter, almost pained. I know that cost, Elon. I know it too well. His words hang in the air. The room feels heavier. The energy in the studio shifts. The audience isn't just watching anymore. They're feeling every word. Keanu's face has changed. There's something deeper in his expression now, something unspoken. Elon notices. Keanu, you said you know that cost. What did you mean? For the first time in the entire interview, Keanu looks hesitant. Then, with a deep breath, he finally speaks. I lost everything. A few people in the audience gasp. Keanu keeps going. The price of success isn't just loneliness, Elon. Sometimes it's losing the people you love most. The room is frozen. Everyone knows Keanu's past, his tragic losses. But hearing him say it here, now in front of the world, makes it hit differently. Elon's expression softens. I understand. Keanu shakes his head. No, you don't. Not yet. The host, clearly emotional, tries to speak, but Keanu lifts a hand. Let me finish. The studio falls silent. For years, I thought my pain had no purpose, that life was just taking from me. But then I realized, pain doesn't destroy you. It shapes you. Keanu leans forward, his voice unwavering. That's my fourth secret, Elon. Your pain is the blueprint of your purpose. The words hit like a tidal wave. The audience feels it. Even Elon sits back thinking. Keanu continues. The world breaks you down to see what you're made of. And if you survive, you realize something powerful. Your pain was never a punishment. It was a preparation. The audience erupts into applause. Elon exhales. Then he finally responds. That was unexpected. Then a small smile creeps onto his face. But since you gave a secret of your own, I think it's time I reveal my next one. The energy in the room is electric. Keanu's words still linger in the air. Your pain was never a punishment. It was a preparation. Elon nods as if those words unlocked something inside him. Then, after a brief pause, he speaks. That was powerful, Keanu. But let me ask you this. If pain is the blueprint, then why do most people stay stuck in their suffering? Keanu listens, arms crossed. I'll tell you why. Because pain alone isn't enough. Pain is just the storm, but how you respond? That's the difference between drowning and learning to sail. The host leans in. The audience is glued to the conversation. And that brings me to my fifth secret, the one decision that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. He pauses. Then, with a slight smirk, he says, "Burn the boats?" The audience murmurs in confusion. Keanu raises an eyebrow. "Explain." Elon leans forward. His voice lowers. Most people fail before they even start. Not because they're not capable, but because they always leave themselves an exit, a backup plan, a just-in-case escape route. And that's why they never go all in. That's why they quit when things get tough. They have a boat waiting to take them back to safety. But the ones who truly change the world, they burn the boats, they leave no option but to move forward. The words hit like a shockwave. When I invested everything I had into SpaceX, I had no backup, no plan B. Either it worked or I lost everything. And because of that, I had no choice but to make it work. The audience is stunned. Keanu nods slowly, taking in Elon's words. Then, after a long pause, he speaks. "That's bold, but also dangerous." Elon smirks. So is staying ordinary. The tension in the room is palpable. Keanu leans back, tapping his fingers against the armrest of his chair. His expression is unreadable. "Burn the boats, huh?" He lets the words settle before continuing. "I get it. No retreat. No surrender. But Elon, what about fear?" The audience shifts. Even the host sits up. Most people don't move forward because they're afraid, not just of failure, but of what happens if they actually succeed. The crowd murmurs. Elon smiles knowingly. I was waiting for that question. His voice drops just slightly, making the moment feel even more intimate. That brings me to my sixth secret. Everything you know about fear is a lie. Keanu doesn't react, but the audience leans in. People think fear is a signal to stop, a warning to turn back, but fear isn't the enemy. It's the guide, a few people in the crowd whisper. Fear only shows up when you're standing at the doorway of something powerful, something meaningful. Fear is proof that you're on the right path. The people who succeed aren't fearless. They're just the ones who learned how to walk through fear instead of running from it. Silence. The weight of the words hangs in the air. Keanu is still watching him, still thinking. Then he finally speaks. "You know what's funny, Elon? I spent my whole career playing fearless characters, but in real life, I was terrified most of the time." The audience is shocked. "You're right. Fear is a lie, and it's also one of the greatest illusions ever created." Exactly. A rare moment of mutual understanding passes between them. But then, something unexpected happens. Keanu suddenly leans forward, lowering his voice. "But tell me this, Elon. If fear is an illusion, what about regret?" The audience gasps. Now that's an interesting question." Elon smirks. "And it just so happens, my seventh secret is about exactly that." The air in the studio is heavy. Keanu's words, "What about regret?" still linger. The audience waits, eyes locked on Elon. His answer could change everything. Elon takes a deep breath, his expression unreadable. Then he speaks. "Regret? Oh, I know regret. And let me tell you something most people will never admit. It doesn't go away." The room falls silent. People think success erases regret, that if you work hard enough, achieve enough, you'll outrun it. But the truth? Every successful person you've ever admired has at least one regret that haunts them, and no amount of money, power, or fame can erase it. The host looks stunned. Keanu's jaw tightens. He knows this too well. "So what's your regret, Elon?" Elon pauses. For the first time in the entire interview, he actually looks hesitant. "My biggest regret? Choosing ambition over people." The audience gasps. "I was so obsessed with pushing humanity forward that I neglected the people closest to me. I lost time I'll never get back. I made sacrifices I can't undo. And now, no matter how far I go, that regret follows me like a shadow. The words hit hard. Even the audience looks shaken. Keanu finally speaks. You and I are more alike than I thought. His voice is lower now, more personal. I spent years chasing something, trying to outrun my own ghosts, but at some point I realized something powerful. The entire room waits. Regret only wins if you let it stop you, but if you use it, it becomes fuel. Elon nods slowly. Which brings me to my 8th secret. And this one? This is the one that makes or breaks people. The studio is dead silent. Keanu and Elon are locked in a stare. Two men who have lost. Two men who have built legacies from pain. The audience waits. Regret becomes fuel, but only if you make the right choice. Elon leans forward, his voice sharp. That's my 8th secret. Your life is controlled by a single decision, whether you create or consume. A wave of whispers sweeps through the audience. Keanu's eyes narrow. Go on, Elon smirks. Most people live their entire lives as consumers. They consume content, consume entertainment, consume opinions, but they never create. And that's why they stay stuck. The host is stunned. The world is built by creators. Every great innovation, every revolution, every legacy, it came from someone who decided to create instead of consume. The words hit like a meteor. And here's the truth no one wants to hear. If you're not creating, you're being controlled. The audience gasps. Keanu's fingers tap against the chair's armrest. He's thinking, processing. Then, after a long pause, he speaks. You're not wrong. The audience is shocked. But let me ask you something, Elon. What about the people who don't believe in themselves enough to create? The question hangs in the air. Elon nods. He expected this. That's why I saved my most controversial secret for last. The studio is on edge. Keanu's question lingers. What about the people who don't believe in themselves enough to create? The audience waits. Even the host looks like he's forgotten to breathe. Elon leans forward. That brings me to my 9th secret, and I'll warn you, most people won't like it. The tension is unbearable. You don't need to believe in yourself. You just need to act. The audience gasps. Keanu tilts his head, intrigued. Explain. Elon smirks. People think self-belief is a prerequisite for success, that you need confidence first before you start. But that's a lie. I've met some of the most successful people in the world. You know what they all had in common? They started before they felt ready. They didn't wait for confidence. They built it through action. The words slice through the room. Action creates belief, not the other way around. The audience erupts. Some nod in agreement. Others look uncomfortable. Because deep down, they know it's true. Keanu exhales, a small smile forming. I like that. I thought you might. But then Keanu's face darkens. There's just one problem, Elon. Oh, you can take action. You can push forward. But there's one thing no amount of action can fix. The room holds its breath. And what's that? Keanu leans in, his voice low. If you lose your humanity along the way. The entire world is watching, millions glued to their screens. The audience in the studio is frozen. Keanu's words, if you lose your humanity along the way, no amount of action can save you. Hang heavy in the air, Elon narrows his eyes. And what exactly does that mean? Keanu leans back, crossing his arms. His voice is calm, but piercing. You and I, Elon, we both know what it's like to be obsessed, to push ourselves past limits most people can't even comprehend. But in that pursuit, people get lost. They sacrifice love for ambition, connection for control, and in the end, They wake up one day with everything except themselves. The words slice through the air like a knife. Elon's smirk fades. For the first time, he looks uneasy. Are you saying I lost myself? Keanu doesn't break eye contact. I'm saying I almost did. The audience gasps. Keanu continues, his voice lower, more raw. I've spent my life chasing something, whether it was survival, meaning, or purpose. I lost people I loved. I made sacrifices I can never undo. And I thought, maybe if I just achieved enough, if I just kept moving forward, the emptiness would go away. The room is deadly silent. Keanu looks straight at Elon. But here's the truth, Elon. No achievement will ever replace a moment of real love. No legacy is worth more than a single act of kindness. Because at the end of your life, the only thing that will truly matter is how deeply you connected, how much you loved, and whether you let yourself be human. The audience is in tears. Even the host is wiping his eyes. Elon exhales sharply. He wasn't expecting this. That's deep, Keanu nods. It's the only secret that actually matters. I think you might be right. And then, for the first time in history, Elon Musk and Keanu Reeves shake hands. The moment Keanu and Elon shook hands, history was made. Within minutes, the internet exploded. News channels ran the clip on repeat. Twitter X was flooded with debates. YouTube videos analyzed every word, every glance. Trending hashtags: Are Elon vs. Keanu? 10 Secrets of Success. Keanu's Final, Truth in Our Musk Mindset. But something unexpected happened. While millions praised Elon's secrets to success, even more people were moved to tears by Keanu's final truth. Keanu just changed my entire perspective on life. That hit my soul. Achievement is nothing without love. This is the lesson of our time. Elon Musk responds a day later. Elon tweeted something shocking. Success without humanity is failure. Thank you, Keanu. The world was stunned. Elon, one of the most ruthless, logic-driven minds of our time, had just admitted something deeply human. Keanu breaks his silence. When reporters asked Keanu about the moment, he simply smiled and said, I just spoke from the heart, that's all. But his next words, they sent shockwaves across the internet. I'll say one last thing. If you want to know what really matters in life, ask someone who has lost everything. The interview wasn't just viral anymore, it was legendary. But what happened next? No one saw coming. A challenge goes. Viral 3 days after the interview, a mysterious challenge started spreading online. It was called Check the Keanu Musk Challenge. The challenge? One simple rule. For the next 7 days, act on a dream you've been delaying. Stop waiting. Create something. Millions joined. Aspiring writers published their first stories. Struggling musicians uploaded their first songs. Small business owners finally launched their ideas. My life will never be the same. Elon's response. 1 week later, Elon tweeted, Success, action, keep going. The world needs more creators. The Keanu Musk Challenge. Keanu's response, even more unexpected. For the first time, Keanu broke his usual silence on social media. Create, love, stay human. That's all that matters. The Keanu Musk Challenge. The world went wild. Interviews, TED Talks, and Hollywood studios wanted more. Podcasters, authors, and speakers dissected their words. Some even called it the greatest interview of all time. But then, something even bigger happened. Keanu vanished. No interviews, no statements, nothing. And when Elon was asked about him, I think Keanu is working on something big. The world was obsessed. Keanu Reeves had vanished, and no one knew why. News reports flooded in. Keanu Reeves missing? Fans speculate after sudden disappearance. Elon Musk hints at Keanu's secret project. What is he up to? The Keanu Musk challenge continues, but where is Keanu? Theories exploded online. Did Keanu go into deep meditation like a monk? Is he filming a new Matrix movie based on his own wisdom? Maybe Elon is building him a time machine? 1 week after Keanu's disappearance, Elon Musk finally tweeted, "Keanu is working on something that will change the world. Just wait." The internet went into meltdown. What was he talking about? A movie? A book? A technological revolution? Then, exactly 33 days after his disappearance, a single video appeared online, a black screen, then Keanu's voice. "I've been quiet because I needed time to create something real." The screen fades in. Keanu is sitting on a stool, dressed simply, looking directly into the camera. "I've spent years acting in stories that weren't mine. Now I want to tell the one that is. The world holds its breath. This is my final lesson, a life's work, a lifetime of truth." The day of the Human X reveal. The entire world was watching. Live streams across YouTube, Twitter, and news channels. Over 2 billion people tuned in, waiting for Keanu Reeves and Elon Musk to reveal the truth. The stage was minimalistic. A single black chair, a large screen behind it. Then, Keanu Reeves walked out. The audience erupted, but he simply raised his hand. The stadium fell into dead silence. "Keanu, thank you for being here. You're about to witness something different." A pause. He looked straight into the camera. "Keanu, for years we've been told that success is about money, power, and innovation. But after living a life of fame, loss, and learning, I've realized something deeper. Keanu, the future of humanity doesn't depend on AI. It doesn't depend on space travel. It depends on something much simpler: human connection." The audience held its breath. Then, the screen behind him flickered on. Elon Musk appeared via video. "Elon, Keanu and I come from 2 different worlds, but we've come together for one reason: to show you what's missing in today's world." The screen shifted, showing images of people lost in their screens, alone despite being more connected than ever. "Keanu, we are the most advanced civilization in history, yet the most disconnected." The audience murmured. Then the real announcement dropped, the truth behind Human X. "Keanu, Human X is not a product. It's not a company. It's a movement." The audience gasped. "Keanu, we are launching the world's largest mission to bring real human connection back, a system that rewards kindness, creativity, and emotional intelligence over profit and power." Elon, technology should serve humanity, not replace it. The world was stunned. What was Human X? A platform where people could earn rewards for acts of kindness, an initiative to fund artists, teachers, and caregivers, professions that shape humanity. A global challenge to reduce screen time and increase real human interaction. Keanu, the greatest technology we have is each other. The audience erupted. Elon Musk stepped onto the stage in person. "Elon, this will change the future, and we want you all to be part of it." The movement began. That night, millions signed up. That night, the world paused to reflect. That night, Keanu's lesson became the most watched event in human history. 1 year later, depression rates dropped. New artists, musicians, and teachers were funded, divided, slowly started to feel human again. And it all started with one live TV interview. Keanu and Elon had done it. They didn't just start a movement, they started a revolution. The end